Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I make videos for anyone who's looking to try and improve their chess in the club rating level, beginner level, any level really. I'm just documenting my chess journey, sharing what I'm learning, sharing my training methods and all of that. So if that sounds interesting, please consider subscribing as it would be greatly appreciated. I do just want to quickly say I do have a Discord server, what I'll leave in the description. If you want to, you can join, like share your game, speak to like-minded individuals about chess. You can discuss loads of things. I mean, it doesn't even have to be chess, but I'll leave a link in the description. Hopefully you can join. And yeah, let's get into today's video. Today's video is probably the most theoretical one I've made. It's the most mainline one I've made because we're going to be looking at the Caro-Kann. We're going to be looking at the main line. So anyway, let's just get into it. So white starts with e4, c6, d4, d5. I just want to say I am it's also great to see all the positive comments. I really appreciate it as well. Like it's honestly great to see, and all the support. It definitely means a lot. And today's video, I reckon it'll be quite instructive. So let's just get into it. So anyway, we're in the Caro-Kann, and now it feels so weird playing bishop f5 because I've made so many videos on knight d7, knight f6. And those are all on my channel. But we're going to be looking at bishop f5. Last video we looked at a sideline, but today is a lot more mainline. So anyway, knight g3 is played, bishop g6, and now h4. This is the main continuation, and now black goes h6. Just to anyone who's not that familiar with this opening, say you're kind of new to chess, you don't want to go h5, it just creates a weakness. I've played against people who played h5 before, you just don't want to do it, it just creates an unnecessary weakness. So h6 is played, and now knight f3. Black continues here, knight d7. Now this is like, this is kind of like the old main line. Kind of the more modern day main line is knight f6, but knight d7 is still the most popular move, and we'll be looking at knight d7. The whole idea is to stop knight e5, but there's ways for... I will be making other videos on knight f6, but the whole idea is to stop knight e5. So anyway, knight d7 is played, and now h5, bishop h7, and now bishop d3. We have to take... You don't want to allow this, so takes, and now white here goes queen c7. So black here goes queen c7, and today I'll be showing you how black can play if you want the castle queenside. There's two ways to handle this position. You can either castle kingside or queenside. I'll be covering both. First I'll be covering queenside, but I just want to show black here can go knight f6 if he wants to castle kingside, and e6 is very flexible because he can go kingside or queenside. I want to show something interesting. So the whole move of queen c7 is just to get the queen out and castle queenside, but it also stops bishop f4. Now if e6 is played, say you haven't made your mind up, you can also play queen c7, but white goes bishop f4, then you can go queen a5, and but white should go queen d2, and you go queen c7. You kind of get the same position. You played e6 though, and this will transpose anyway, and you can castle on the next move. And if c3 is played, we just keep this queen here. It's a very strong... The queen's strong here. And if castles kingside, maybe there's some weaknesses, but the queen's fine here. I thought that was interesting to point out. So e6 is a move, but I'll be showing you queen c7 if you want to castle queenside. As white, I much prefer when black castles kingside, but so castling queenside for me is a lot more annoying if you play on white. So I would think I would probably go queenside, but I'm yet to kind of learn the theory behind kingside. So anyway, queen c7 is played, and now after queen c7, bishop d2, e6 is played, and now castles. Sorry, castles. The whole idea of bishop d2 is just to castle queenside. So white normally castles queenside in these openings. Now after castles queenside, knight g to f6 is played. Knight e4, and now castles here. I want to show something interesting. The idea behind knight g to e4 is because this knight is not doing too much, and you want to just exchange it for a more kind of better piece. This knight's defending and controlling more central squares, so it makes sense to just exchange it. So knight e4 is played, and now I want to show you something interesting. Knight e4 is the main move, but white can also go queen e2. We'll be looking at queen e2, because if you do want to play this line, you'll need to know what to do when queen e2 is played, as it's a very serious threat. It's a very serious attempt for white to try win the game. So queen e2 can be played, and the whole idea is to play knight e5, because before knight e5 we can just take, and take. So queen e2 is the whole idea, is to prep knight e5. After queen e2, black will continue castles queenside. Knight e5 will be played. Knight b6, and now after knight b6, c4, just gaining more space. But there's two options here. After knight b6, c4 is a pawn sacrifice, because after, I believe it's rook d4, bishop e3, I believe rook d1, and rook g8. This is, and after f4, this is black. I think black kind of refutes the gambit in a way, but white can still definitely play here. I just want to show you something. After if I went over that too fast, so after this position, knight b6, just go back a bit. If white goes queen e2, and after knight e5, after castles, we can play knight b6 and c4. White here has two options: bishop a5, what's the most popular, and c4. c4 is a pawn sacrifice, because after takes, bishop e3, takes. Black here goes rook g8. I want you to try pause the video and work out why you can't take this knight. I'll let you pause the video really quickly. If you did pause the video, the reason is because takes. There's a rook d8 and takes. There's a discovery with the queen here, so that's why. But anyway, if you ever get this, just take the pawn, take, and play rook g8. That's a way to refute it. Now, after knight b6, white's most popular move is bishop a5. Rook d5 is played, and now after rook d5, takes, c4. And now rook a5. It's an interesting position. This rook's been lifted, and now it's here. King b1 is played, and now bishop d6. f4 is played, just solidifying. You'll see a lot in these positions. f4 is played to kind of put this knight here. Rook d8 is played, and now after rook d8, I believe white has a slight advantage, but black should be fine here. So that's what happened if queen e2 is played. Now, if queen e2 is not the most popular move, so after castles, let's go back a bit. After queen c7, here. Okay, knight e4 is the main move. Okay, so we castle queenside after knight e4. Now, here white goes g3. The idea is to put this bishop here. So black here just takes. And I've always had knight f6 played against me. I play this as white, and knight f6 actually is not, maybe it's not the most precise move. Even from a practical standpoint, I think it's probably not, because this is quite common actually. I've seen this in the Karpov variation. When this knight is here, it's not controlling this crucial e5 square, but the main move here is bishop d6, because it controls, now you've got way more pieces controlling this e5 square. And lots would argue that this e5 square is more important than these two. So that's why bishop d6 is played. But I want to show you a very interesting line with knight f6. Excuse me. Knight f6. Knight f6. And I want to show you what happens when black plays c5 too early. I mean, the main pawn break in this position as black is c5. But you need to be very careful when you play it. So after knight f6, queen e2 was played, and now black went c5 too early. D takes, bishop takes, and now very interesting move, rook h4. This rook can infiltrate really, and there was a very I believe king b8 was played, bishop f4, it was bishop d6, and it was a very nice sacrifice with takes, and knight e5. This knight's coming here. This is just chaotic, and there's also ideas of going knight d7 discovery attack. So that's why you don't want to play c5 too early. You always want to play c5 normally when white has played c4, as we'll be looking at. So anyway, let's backtrack a bit. After queen e4, bishop d6 is played. Now c4 is the main move, and now c5 with breaking the center. And now you notice how we play c5 after this has been played. I mean, there's a couple moves, well, two main moves here: bishop c3 and d5. We'll be looking at the continuations after c5, as this is very main line if you want to castle queenside. What I think I will try be doing, I'll also learn kingside, and I'll have a video on that come out soon. But d5 can also be played here. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you got any value out of it, I would appreciate if you could leave a like, sub, leave me a comment, and also I've got the Discord, so if you want to share your games, share what you're learning in chess, anything really, I'll put a link in the description so you can join. And thank you for your attention. I really appreciate it, and have a good rest of your day.